Aloba, our dearest Aloba, Ali Akbar Shapour-zaman. He went to Baba August 13th, 2002. And last Sunday was that anniversary. And thinking of him, you know, I found this piece on the internet. Actually is a compilation of the contributes in correspondence sent to MeherSepas when he reunited with dear Baba. I'm gonna read parts of that, and the people who contributed were Balnatu, Jill, Alvarado, Ryan Brown, Rick and Cheryl Chapman, Shahin Khorsandi, Amber Mahler, Shirley Marich, and Farhad Shafa. And Shirley Marich, she was the one who compiled all this and gave it to Tavern Talk. So here we go. At age of 86, Ali Akbar Shapour-zaman joined his beloved Meher Baba on 13th August 2002 at 1:15 p.m. in a Pune hospital not far from where Baba himself was born. His reunion came after 75 years of service devoted only to him. During his last days, it was clear that Aloba could no longer contain his love for beloved Baba in his heart, as it would often overflow in a spontaneous weeping while he was speaking with those around him. When asked why he was crying, Aloba would simply say, "Don't worry, these are tears of joy, and I cannot control them. It is out of my hands." This part was, in particular, was written by Rick and Cheryl Chapman, and it was placed at Baba's chair when Aloba's body arrived at MeherSepas. Jai Baba. Ali Akbar Shapour-zaman, Meher Baba's disciple, Aloba, lived a life of rare and extraordinary spiritual privilege. He attended the master's Meher Ashram as a child, accompanied the God-man as a companion in the new life, and remained with his beloved as one of the handful of resident mandali until the end. Aloba was so unusual a disciple that Meher Baba had not one, but 3 different nicknames for him: Electricity, the General, and Snake Killer. Each gives a glimmer of insight into his personality and attributes, but neither these pet names nor any number of words can really describe the uniqueness of Meher Baba's dear Aloba. Aloba lived for his beloved master with a passion and intensity unknown to most. He breathed Baba's words, lived his commands with a do-or-die tenacity, meditated upon his divinity, his divinely human life with every waking moment, and was graced with innumerable wondrous and vivid dreams about him, which he shared generously. His enthusiastic determination to uphold Baba's wish in all things was boundless and contagious, and his storytelling, which inevitably revolved around the majesty of his beloved's working in his life with others, was always a drama to behold, with gestures, props, and full body contortions for emphasis. It was a gift to witness his great love in action and to be privy to his homespun, but so often disarmingly profound observations and commentary on the ways of the avatar. And Aloba was Persian, born in the land of Avatar's own heritage. Aloba both characterized and represented Persia in Baba's court in innumerable ways, but perhaps most of all through his knowledge of Hafiz, Persia's great perfect master and Meher Baba's favorite poet. With no more than a few gestures, Baba could elicit an entire ghazal from Aloba, sonorous and mesmerizing in his word-perfect Persian recitation. What astonishing grace to be able to entertain the beloved with the words of poetry, which were always perfect. Aloba, dear friend, great disciple of beloved, what an indelible impression you have made upon the hearts of all lovers of the beloved who were blessed with the opportunity to know you. We celebrate your glorious life of total dedication to the beloved Lord, and we will never forget your cat says meow, time for tea, few drops, or who belongs this? Your playful childlike nature together with your meticulous passion for duty always struggled to hide a veritable inferno of love for your beloved master. Now you're consumed by his embrace, one with the fire of his infinity and a beacon of light for us all forevermore. And so at last we join together Baba's heart from around the world to bid a loving adieu to the unique, unparalleled, the exemplary disciple of Meher Baba, Ali Akbar Shapour-zaman. Jai Meher Baba. So tonight we have a special treat for you. You know, Ali Akbar, Aloba, he wrote the most beautiful Persian Arti for our beloved. And many Baba lovers around the world have sung it in different tunes and music. But nobody does justice than the man who wrote it himself, Ali Akbar Shapour-zaman. Jai Meher Baba.
Meher Baba ki jai. Meher Baba mazhar haq مالک و پروردگار پاک یزدانی خدا انسان تویی آمرزگار تو زراتشت رام عیسی محمد هم تویی ایزدی دادار او رمز خالق لیل و نهار هستی مسجود ملائک باشی معبود بشر در کلیسا و کنشتن عاشقانت بیقرار می ستاییم می پرستیم ما تو را از جان و دل بوسه زن بر آستانت ما شب و روز بار بار تو چراغ مهر و ایمان در دل و جان من فروز تا ز تو روشن شویم و راه یاب ای نامدار ای خدا و انسان تو اعمال بد ما را بسوز جز تو نبود دیگری ما را یار و غمگسار دیده حق بین بده بینیم جمال اصلیت چشم جسمی را نباشد طاقت دیدار یار ذره ای از نور تو جانا اگر تابد به دل تابش دلمان کند خورشید عالم شرمسار بندگی و آرتی من را ز لطف خود پذیر ما ثناخوان توییم در هر مکان و هر دیار کی توانیم ما ستاییمت خدای مهربان آنچه در شان تو گفتم یک بود اندر هزار अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय
Jai Baba, we hope you enjoyed seeing all the pictures of dear Aloba with our beloved. And at this point, we'd like to invite all of you, if you could share some memories with our dear Aloba, anything that you like to say in his memory or love. Farhad, I think, if I'm not mistaken, when I was reading that compilation, were you also in India at that time?
Yeah. We were in India when he passed away.
You were there, and I think there was a mention that you read a special Hafiz poem. Do you remember what it was?
No, actually, he had, it wasn't Hafiz. It was, is it Yvonne Madoenra? He had told somebody about that poem, how important it was, and I didn't remember all of it, but my mother remembered it. So she recited it for me and I wrote it down. And so we were able to fulfill his wish to have that poem recited.
So beautiful. Do you remember anything of that time that you could share with us?
It is a famous poem that we all studied in school about Evan Madoen.
No, I mean any memories, anything about that time you were,
Yeah,
you know.
well, the thing is, when I lived in Iran, my one wish was that I wanted to be a night watchman in Mehersepas. And so, but Baba had other plans, so it didn't happen. But then the way that this unity of a creation works is everything is tied to everything in the right way. And so we happened to arrive in India just a day or two before Aloba passed away. And then the mandali asked me to, if I wanted to stay all night with Aloba's body, because that's a tradition they have, that they put a mandali's body in front of Baba's chair, and then a few people have to stay awake with the body. And so that's what I did. And his body was on a rug with a Persian inscription on it, and I thought it was so funny. It said, "Bisatun ra ishq kando shohratash Farhad bord." How creation is so to that minute level coordinated. Wow. Anyhow, so and then when I said something about this to, I don't know, Arnavaz or Mani or somebody, they said, "I see, you always wanted to be a night watchman, and now you were watching over the night watchman. So Baba granted your wish."
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. I saw Parvin's hand was up. Parvin John, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. I have a question from Farhad. It's not related to our topic today. I have heard that I'm asking if it's correct or not. When an advanced soul passes away, goes to Baba, some natural disasters might happen after, like earth or hurricane, fire or something like that. Is this correct?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, I think we look at.
I heard yes.
I think what we have seen is that that has happened. So maybe that has made people think that maybe that's a rule or a law or something. But
Yeah.
when there's tremendous amount of energy released, something happens. But for example, when dear MEHER passed away, Berlin Wall came down, there was freedom in Europe. The revolution in South Africa completed successfully. Mandela came to. So it's not always a disaster, but it is a tremendous amount of energy that's released, and it is used in whatever way the divinity feels it needs to be used.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jay Baba. Jill had his hand up. Jill, Jay Baba.
Jay Baba, I have a story. Try to keep it short, but it just came to mind, and it's one illustration, I think, of coping with anxiety that Aloba helped me with. And I realize there are many different ways, but so what happened was at the Pilgrim Center, a woman was brought in and put in the bed right next to mine, and everything I did was wrong. She was always after me, and I tried so hard. I tried everything I knew to be nice to her and friendly and positive, and I really made an effort, and it just went on, and it was creating tremendous anxiety in me because I couldn't relax in my room. And also, she made me feel as though I was wrong. So I was worried about being wrong and, not doing things right. And if only I could do something the right way, she would stop going after me. And so I went to Pune. Wynn invited me to go with him and Aloba because I had to go to do something there. And so on the way back from Pune, I mentioned this story to Aloba. And Aloba told me exactly how to handle it. And it must be a cleaning up sanskara because it works not just with her. He said that to not do any more reaching out, not talk to her, not even talk to her. If she says something to me, just be very polite and go on. And that's it. And that's what I did. And it ended the whole, and it didn't end her being negative, but it ended my being caught up in it. And it was so simple. So just wanted to share that.
Thank you,
Thank
Jill.
you.
That was so beautiful, beautiful share. Thank you, Jay Baba. Jay Baba, so Farshid Jan, we are so thrilled and happy that you're going to share with us a wonderful story about Aloba called Magic Shoes. That's related to a couple of people who we can't wait to hear about. Jay Baba.
Jay Baba. It was actually it was in 1989, end of 1989, I believe, or it was 1989. And my sister Gohar called from Iran. That she's going with Amar Esfandiar Rasali to India, and I should make the arrangements to go to be with them and also translate. I said, okay. And, although I said, okay, I didn't know how this is going to happen, because I give a little background on that, because, I had entered United States illegally. Basically, I was in Canada, Canadian citizen, and had my visa to India also, I think, because it happened so quick. and I was illegally in Seattle, staying there. And the last time I was entering, United States from Canada, they caught me and took me, into the backside, and they asked me a lot of questions. Why are you going to America? What is your job? What is your this and that? Anyway, they filled out the computer with a lot of information that I needed to have before they let me enter into United States again. So with that said, I was not permitted to United States. They turned me back. When they turned me back, I went to another border, which is a smaller border, and I just went through, and they just said, didn't ask me any question and didn't take me inside to find out what the problem is. So I went to United States. But from there on, I decided just to stay and not to move around. And what happened when Gohar called, this was my situation. I was not permitted into the United States, but I was living in the United States. And with having my visa and everything, when Gohar called, it was almost Christmas Eve. And I remember I called some agencies to find out if I can find a ticket. And they said, we have only one ticket and it's leaving in a couple of days. You want to go? I said, sure. So I got onto that flight, made it to India, Gohar and Amu came and I met them. Stayed with Amu most of the time in the Dharamsala, which was his old school, actually. He said, Baba, or Kekhosrav Sari was teaching me here as a schoolboy when I started, because he was in MEHER Ashram in the beginning. There was no PREM Ashram. And eventually the PREM Ashram came into being what is called PREM Ashram, because of him, or he was the first person in PREM Ashram. Anyway, we were in that Dharamsala, our beds, and nobody else was there because nobody wanted to stay there. The MPC was open, so people, would use that. Was more facilities, better and all that. But as founder decided, no, we're going to stay here. So I stayed with him, and he was, our bed was across each other. We were, meditating together, sleeping there, and resting and all that. And when it was time to eat, we would go to MPC, and Gohar was there, so we would eat together, talk to each other over there also, and to others, and then come back. And at this occasion, this goes into another story. I'm going to keep it at that. That how it all happened. That his founder started, talking about his spiritual path and all that, which is actually also in the book, The Boys. People can read it in there. I explained it, I think, extensively in there, how it all came about and his talks and all that. But I don't want to go into that story. But anyway, now what happened, my intention was that now that I came, and I don't know if I can go back even into the United States, I better stay there, for almost at least 2-3 months. So when I told Aloba, Aloba, my intention is to stay here for 2-3 months, he said, no, you go when as founder and go out. I said, okay, well, what can I say? So anyway, one of those days, and we would go to Meherazad. I think it was pretty much daily. We would go in the morning, and before lunch we would get back. And we had a good time. Aloba would had us in his room, sometimes in the mandali hall. I remember Svander also talked about, his life with Baba in the Mandali Hall at that time. But anyway, one of these sessions or one of these times that we were in MEHER, Aloba said, I have a pair of sandals of Baba. And when I die, nobody knows who's gonna take that, and I want to give it to somebody, a Persian Baba lover. I want to give it to Persian Baba. So, from here I got excited. I said, who knows, maybe he wants to give it to me. But what happened, he said, you know what we do? We're going to put all the names of Persian Baba lovers in front of Baba's picture, and he had a small, place in his room that had a big picture of Baba in there with a light. So he said, we put it in front of Baba, and Gohar is the one who's going to pick one of them, and whoever's name is there, that sandal goes to them. I said, okay. So here comes, different names, Khodadad Namiranian, Farhad Shapour, this and that. I mean, they put all kinds of Farhad Shafa, Mehdi Ghafari, Namiranian, different names anyway, all Babylon. And I'm, Gohar Namiranian, whoever. And I was hoping that, they're going to put my name too, at least I get a chance here. But no, he didn't even mention my name, and he didn't put my name in there. And he put all the names there that was written in the paper, individually. And then Gohar pulled the name up. And here, I was heartbroken. I said, I was not even given a chance of Baba's sandals. And with that grief in me, Gohar picked up Mehdi Ghafari's name. It came out Mehdi Ghafari. But here I became so excited and happy because, I knew Mehdi deserved that because he did a lot of work for Baba. He translated Baba's books. He brought a lot of people to Baba and talked about Baba in his school, because he was a professor. So in the school, he would always talk about Baba with his students. So some of his students ended up in coming to the meetings in Iran and all that. So when the name came, I was happy. I said, he deserves it. And what happens now? He said, okay, we are done. You all go. So we came, me and Gohar and Amu are sitting in front of, that little pond in MEHER, the pond that Louis Van Gaster took the movie. You probably see a little pond that Baba passes by from where people sit these days to the other side, or where his chair was. So anyway, we are sitting next to that pond, I remember, or fountain, or a little faucet is there. For those who I'm explaining, they know what it is. So anyway, here he comes out from his room with another box, and he comes and he stands right in front of me. He says, "Get up!" I get up, and he opens the box and takes a pair of shoes out of this box and drops it right in front of me. And he says, "Step into it." I said, "No, I'm not going to." I thought these Baba's shoes. I said, "No, I'm not going to step into Baba's shoes." I was going to go bow down to it. That he caught me and he said, "No, these are my own shoes. I've walked all over Mehrabad, all over MEHER with these, and I want you to try and see if it fits you." I said, "Okay." So I stepped into the shoes, and they were a perfect fit. It looked like they had made it for me. Although Aloba is short and tall, but the feet, it was perfect. So I said, Aloba, it's perfect fit. He said, you know, I'm going to give you these shoes, but don't wear it all the time. Wear it only at official times. Now listen carefully. Wear it only at official times. And when you wear it for interview or official times, the person who interviews you will see you different. I said, okay. I didn't know what he's talking about, but I said, okay. He said, okay, take these shoes, and then I'll give you Baba's sandals also. You take it with you to America. And when you get there, you personally give it to Mehdi Ghafari. Now, when he was telling me that, I said, okay, but in the meantime, I was telling myself, how would I make it to America? So what happened, he said, don't give the shoes into the luggage. You know, when you go on the plane, don't give it to the luggage. Carry it with yourself. I said, okay. So he gave me one of those bags, with Baba's flags on them, the Baba flag bags. And I fitted both shoes in there. And the day came that Amo Eslandiar and Goar left for Iran, and I left for, coming to America. Now, my return ticket was through London and then through Chicago and then Seattle. So what happened, when I came to London, there was a lot of snow. It was, the airport was closed and they couldn't have any flights out. And for 3 days, I was stuck in London. But it was nice because I visited my cousin, Rostam Meravanpour, the youngest son of Shahryar Meravanpour, who was with Baba. And I took the sandals there, and they took darshan of Baba's sandals. It was at their house for a couple of, for that few days that I was there. And then Rostam took me around London, showed me different places and all that. That was nice too. And the day came that I had to fly back. So I flew, again, I had the shoes and Aloba's shoes with me. And we come to, I come to Chicago airport. As soon as I get off the plane and I'm walking towards the line, of the custom line, suddenly I remember that, hey, here is an official interview. And Aloba said, well, wear it only in official interview. So what I did, there was a bathroom right there. So I went to the bathroom, took my shoes out, my own shoes, put it in the box in Aloba's shoes, and then put Aloba's shoes, brought it out and wore them and came to the line. As soon as I came to the line, they closed the line behind me. I said, oh my God, how worse can it be? Now I'm walking towards the officer, and I was the last one in the line. As I said, they closed the line behind me. The officer said, passport. I gave her, it was a she. I gave her my passport, and she passed it under the computer. It was a computer read. So they read, and she was looking at the screen of the computer. She was looking at me, she was looking there. And I said, I knew what's going on. So anyway, she blurted out and she said, is your name common name? I said, Farshid. Yeah, it's a little common. Namiranian? No, she said, no, Namiranian. I said, yeah, it's a little common. Then she said, there is somebody that I see in the computer and with your name, and even your birth date is the same, but I know it's not you. I didn't know what to say. And then she called somebody else, another officer. And she said, come and look and see what you think. she came and looked and said, no, it's not him. It's not him. And then they stamped my passport and they said, go. So I came and gave I basically switched my luggage into the Seattle flight and went back home, rode it to Aloba, and then I explained, let me tell you this much also, that that shoes, when I went for citizenship interview for United States, they had no problem. When I went for any job interviews, I got the job. I mean, it was bang, bang. And the stamp that was put into my passport helped basically through my citizenship, and they cleaned up all the stuff on the computer. Because I remember the lawyer that I had, the lawyer said, I don't think you can get citizenship because of all these things that the judge is telling me is on your computer. But then he said, no, I'm going to fight it because they let you into the country, with a good stamp here. So anyway, yeah, he used that excuse also. And when the interview time came also, I had the shoes on, and the judge dismissed everything and cleaned up, the background, and I was granted citizenship. So anyway, I wrote to Aloba and also, told the story to Baba lovers in Seattle, and they called it magic shoes. That's why, when I basically tell the story of the magic shoes, this is why it is magic shoes, because, it opened all the keys. And I remember people asked me, can I borrow you the shoes? I said, I can give you that, but it is, Aloba said, for me, and then if I give it to you, it might be working opposite against what your will is, and then you're going to blame it, or you're going to blame me and Aloba and all others. So anyway, that's how it was, the story of the magic shoes.
Thank you so much, Farshid. No, I have a question. Whose shoes was it? Was it Aloba's or?
Yeah, it was, no, Aloba's shoes. Yeah, I still have it. I don't wear it as much because I'm not looking for a job or anything. But if there is a, interview, I'll wear it.
We would love to get a glance of those shoes one of these days, if it's possible.
Yeah. I mean, I can bring it if you give me a minute or so.
Oh, yes, please. Yes,
Yeah.
please. You'll wait.
Oh, and the continuation of, are you ready? In the continuation of these shoes, I should tell you that here they are.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Can we see the bottom too? I don't know. I'm just curious. Oh,
Northern Star shoes.
Oh my goodness. Aloba probably, I'm wondering if he wore it in Baba's presence, or, well, he was in Baba's place, He wore
I'm
it.
not sure, but they're pretty special.
Oh, it is. It is. What a gift. You see that the thought you had that, your name was not put into that pot for Goharjan to pick, but, deep inside, it was meant for this shoe to find its home with you,
Yeah. But one thing I remember to add to the story was that in that trip, actually, Peter Booth decided to get a visa for Amr Sfandiar. He said, Amu needs to go to the West. There was a Sahabas coming up in Port Townsend, not too far away from Seattle, in an island that a lot of Baba lovers came, and I remember Sfandiar was there, plus many, many others, like Andy Muir, Enrique Shadi, that I remember, and also, I think there were 6 or 7 people there. Nosha Mananza, quite a few. But anyway, when Amu came, I had to give the sandals um, to hand deliver them to Mehdi Ghafari. But I didn't know when I'm going to go to California. So, but Amu came for that Sahabas, and when he was returning to California, he said he's going to go to Walnut Creek and also visit the Sufi Center, and he's going to see Mehdi and Farhad and all that. So what happened, I called Aloba, and I said, Aloba, can I give the shoes to Esfandiar to give it to Mehdi? And he said, oh yeah, no problem. Esfandiar is safe. Yeah, give it to him to give it to me. So I got his approval and sent the sandals with Amu to Mehdi. And Mehdi received them. When Mehdi passed away, I think he gave them to Nader, one of his sons.
Yes, the second.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, what beautiful story. Thank you for sharing and also showing the shoes. Do you have any other Aloba stories to share that, at this moment? We would love to hear it.
Aloba, I have a lot of stories because I was going to India quite often when he was alive, and he would always take me to his room and talk about sometimes the war and things in Iran, and sometimes my mind is not into that. So once I remember he had a big group, Aloba, and I said, Aloba, you have a big group here, and I like to go listen to Erich because I've I think in a way that he doesn't feel bad. I said I'm half American, so let me go and talk, to a mandali hall and listen to him. He said, okay, you can go. You can go to listen to it. So, he would be of that nature. Once I remember, now this is a funny story, and Aloba knew things before it would happen. I felt that. I felt that in him. One occasion was that I had a lot of things to discuss with him. Now, I'm not going to go through details of now what I was going to discuss with him, but I had made documents after documents and put a file together to go sit with him and discuss this matter. It was an issue at the time. And when I went there and I sat with him next to him at the table, as soon as I brought the document up, he put his hand on that, on folder. He said, hold it right there. It is not for you. Don't worry about it. It is not for you. And then he passed it off, basically. He passed it off, and I said, okay. I didn't mention it anymore. There was another occasion. Now, this is the funny part, is that we were in the Amartiti time, and Erich was there. I was sitting next to Erich. And Aloba was also there, but sitting, on a corner, and in front of Baba's house, where Baba's room is, behind Baba's room, facing Baba's samadhi. So I saw a lot of people lining up in front of Aloba. They all come and talk to him, and they either give him something, or they want something, or Aloba gives them a picture of Baba or something, or they ask him a question and Aloba answers. And through all that, Aloba's line was way big compared to Baba's line for darshan. So it was a funny scene to me. I turned back to Erich and I said, Erich, look here. Look at Aloba's line and Baba's Samadhi's line. See, you can see what I mean. And he was laughing too. He had a smile on his face. That's how the world is. What can you say? So, people of the world, they're looking for the things of the world.
Yeah.
Aloba, was dealing for the thing, for the things of the world. Sometimes he would say, you marry, oh no, you don't get married, or you do this or you do that. So anyway, those are what I remember now. One time in Namiranian asked me to recite the Persian prayer. He would do it himself sometimes, but this time he said, "You go do it." I said, "Okay." Then he said, "Okay, no, first say it in front of me, so I know that you can do it." I said it, and he said, "Okay, yeah, this is good. Go." So I did it in front of the public, basically, whoever was there.
Thank you, Farshid. You know, what I remember about Aloba so particularly, his determination. He was so determined to live Baba's words so implicitly. Like he would say, like Baba's wish was his command. He said, like, you know, that's it, do it. Let's and that his energy, his determination to live Baba's words was just amazing. I think to me it speaks volume about his dedication. And Baba, you know, the people, his mandali, the people, each had a certain quality, I think, that was pivotal in Baba's manifestation, Baba's working with humanity. That's the way I saw it.
Yes.
Magic show, wow. خیلی جالبه. Unbelievable.
من خودم تعجب بودم که میگه شخصی که باهات مصاحبه میکنه شخص دیگری خواهید دید. من اینه که گفت اون موقع نفهمیدم، بعد که اومدم تو مرز که بیام آمریکا دیدم اصلا واقعا اتفاق افتاد دیگه، جلوی چشم اتفاق. حتی این که هیچی، رفت یکی دیگه هم صدا کرد گفت بیا تو هم ببین. چی فکر می‌کنی؟ گفت نه این نیستش، بذار برم.
Unbelievable. That's it. بابا that's his word. خاطرات زیاد هستن. یک خاطره که یادم میاد سال 1977 بود که گروهی ما از ایران همه رفته بودیم، به اتفاق دکتر شفا، عمو اسفندیار، همگی رفته بودیم هند. و اینکه یادمه که الوبا گفتش که بریم دونی بابا روشن کنیم و دونی بابا رو که رفتیم روشن کنیم، عمو اسفندیار رفتن روشن کنن و همین که اومدن روشن بکنن، اون جایی که خط قطار هست شروع شد که یک مشته از این قطارایی که حمل میکنن چیزای گنده، تانک و توپ و چیزای ابزارهای جنگی، همینطور پشت سر هم اینا داشتن رد میشدن و علیبا گفتش که ببینید این تا حالا اتفاق نیفتاده و این نشونه اینه که اسفندیار وصالی، این آتیش دست ایرانی روشن شده دونی و جنگ جهانی سوم از ایران شروع میشه. اینو گفت و یک خاطره‌ای که یادش اومد به ما گفت یا بعداً فهمیدیم اینه که البته خب نمیدونم چرا عکس شاه و ملکه رو همیشه پلو عکس بابا نگه می‌داشت الوبا و قبل از اینکه انقلاب بشه ایران، الوبا رفتش این عکس رو برداشت نگاهی کرد و همینطوری پارش کرد و انداخته، گفته دیگه تو دیگه تموم شدی و بعد انقلاب میشه و خلاصه به این صورت بود. یه خاطره بودش که من داشتم، ولی اغلب این خوابای جالب و قشنگ که میدید از بابا برای مطمئنم خیلی افراد میفرستاد که برای پدر منم جزو اون افراد بودن و یک بار که یک از این نامه ها به دست ما رسید، قشنگ یادمه، خاطرمه، من بچه بودم که این نامه رسید و این تشبیه خوابی که میگفتش که من یک میخ دیدم توی زمین مهرآباد فرو رفته و خیلی دقیق این جزئیات رو میگفت و پدر و مادر من خیلی داشتن یعنی خوب دقت میکردن و اینا که حالا این چه مفهومی داره، آیا واقعا ربطی داره به حقیقت که جنگ جهانی صورت پیدا میکنه که در این زمان یک لحظه یک صدای انفجار بزرگی ما شنیدیم بیرون خونه. اصلا ما فکر کردیم بمب افتاده، دنیا انگار تموم شد یک زمان و دود و غبار و اینا بالا رفته بود. بیرون نگاه کردیم یک اتوبوسی اصلا این مثل این که ما فکر کنیم بمب توش منفجر شده، که تمام این انجنش منفجر شده بود و خیلی خیلی نمیدونم افرادی زخمی شدن چی شد و اینا یادم نیست. ولی درست در همون زمانی که مامان بابام گفتن آیا این واقعیت جنگ جهانی سوم اتفاق یا این انفجار. خلاصه این خاطرات من بود. اینجا بفرمایید.
بله، درباره آلوبا خواستم یه 2-3 تا داستان کوچولو، البته حالا نمیدونم چقدر وقت هست، باهاتون شیر بکنم. من اولین باری که رفتم مهرآباد آلوبا رو ملاقات کردم و خب خیلی یعنی زیاد آشنایی نداشتم و رفتم اونجا و آلوبا همیشه میگفت گل‌های ایران خوش اومدید، همه بیایید و همه ایرانی‌ها رو جمع میکرد میبرد تو اتاق خودش، در صورتی که همه خارجی‌ها توی ماندلی هال بودن و گوش میکردن به صحبت‌های بقیه ماندلی ها. آلوبا خیلی خیلی خوشحال میشد که ایرانی‌ها اومدن و با یه شوق و ذوقی خود همه رو میبرد تو اتاق خودش و بهمون شیرینی میداد، درباره حافظ صحبت میکرد، خیلی خیلی بهمون خوش میگذشت خیلی. و یه چیز جالبی که برای من پیش اومد، یه دفعه‌ای گفتش که شاهین یه چیزایی گفت که واقعا من نمیدونستم اون موقع مثلا روح‌های پیشرفته کیا هستن، چه حالتی دارن، چه تجربیاتی دارن. به من گفتش که شاهین مواظب باش، تو خیلی رانندگیت خیلی مواظب باش، خیلی تون رانندگی میکنی. و من خب اون موقع جوان بودم تو ایران، آره خب رانندگی میکردم، سوار موتور بودم، ماشین، کارم این بود که رانندگی زیاد بکنم، یه موقعی سریع میرفتم برای کارم. و آلوبا به من گفتش که خیلی مواظب باش، زیاد تون نرو تو ایران. که من واقعا شوکه شدم که چطور آلوبا که اصلا منو نمیشناسه چطور خبر داره از اینکه من رانندگی تون حرکت میکنم. و اون موقع بود که اولین باری بود که ما کتاب God Speak رو تایپ کرده بودیم و من یه نسخه براش برده بودم. اینقدر خوشحال شد که این کپی کتاب God Speak رو بهش دادم، اینقدر خوشحال شد و گفت که یه مدالی بود که فلزی بود و عکس بابا روش بود، اینو به من داد و گفتش که اینو داشته باش و این کار رو ادامه بده و کتاب‌های بابا رو به فارسی که تایپ بکن و اینا. اون موقع منو تشویق کرد و داستان‌های خیلی زیبایی درباره آلوبا شنیدم از باوجی و کسای دیگه که واقعا خود بابا هم گفتن که آلوبا یه شخصیت واقعا نچرال خودش بود، یعنی واقعا مثل یه کودک یا یه بچه پرم اشرام رو شما در نظر بگیرید، واقعا همون نیچر خودش بود، همون جوری که در درونش بود و همون جوری نشون میداد خودشو و هیچ ظاهرسازی یا تغییری تو اون ذاتش نداشت. و باوجی یه داستانی درباره آلوبا تعریف کرد و این بود که زمانی که بابا خواننده های مسلمانی که می اومدن و شعرهای عرفانی رو میخوندن، حالا من اسمش یادم نیست چه نوع موسیقی چه خوانندگی بود، ولی یه شعرهایی میخوندن که خیلی با ریتم خیلی تند و اینا داشت و باوجی میگفتش که وقتی که گوش میکردیم این حالت، خب همه نشسته بودن، بابا هم گوش میکرد و آلوبا میرفت تو حالت خلسه و خودش زمین و زار میزد، یعنی یه حالتی میشد که اصلا یعنی حالت مستی میرسید که بابا یکی از ماندلی ها رو حالا یادم نیست اسمش چی بود، کی بودش، کدوم ماندلی بود، امور کرده بود که مواظب آلوبا باشه. بابا گفته بود که دفعه بعد که این برنامه پروگرام شروع شد، موزیک شروع شد، یکی دست و پای آلوبا رو بگیره که این حالتها براش پیش نیاد، خودش زمین و زار نزنه. و حالا جالبیش اینجا بود که اون دفعه بعدی که این برنامه شروع شد، آلوبا هیچ اتفاقی براش نیفتاد، اون آروم بود، ولی اون ماندالی که مراقب آلوبا بود اون مست شده بود و بعد مواظبش بودن و دست و پاشو میگرفتن. و اینو داستانی بود که تعریف میکرد و بواجی داستان دیگه تعریف کرد. اینم داستان زمانی بود که زمان آخری بود که آلوبا بردن بیمارستان چون مثل افتاد هیپش شکست و برده بودن اتاق عمل جراحی که جراحی کنن روش و دکتر جراح و پرستارا همه بالا سرش بودن و آلوبا با صدای بلند میگفت بابا 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 میکرد. بعد دکتر جراح گفتش که به همراهش گفتش که بابا بگید پدرش بیاد، این هی داره بابا باباش صدا میزنه اینا. بعد همراه ها گفتن که نه این بابا مرشدشه، خود یعنی مرشد آلوبا هستش و پدرش فوت کرده، پدرش اینجا نیستش. و دکتر جراح گفت لطفاً بهش بگید که با صدای تو دلش بگه، با صدای بلند نگه چون ما حواسمون پرت میشه. و اینو به آلوبا گفتن آلوبا لطفاً ذکر میگین تو دلت بگو که بتونن اینو جراحی کنن. و آلوبا هم گفت باشه من نمیگم. و فقط یه بار با صدای بلند گفت یا مهر بابا و دیگه تو دلش اسم بابا رو تکرار میکرد که عملش کردن. و که البته دکتر وقتی که عملش تموم شد گفت عمل موفقیت آمیز بود ولی آلوبا جسمش رو رها کرد. و داستان دیگه این بود که این بود من شنیدم، حتما شنیدید، بعد از اینکه بابا جسمش رو رها کرد خب آلوبا یه مأموریتی به دلش افتاده بود که این کار رو انجام بده و برای خودش یه موقع‌هایی یه زنبیلی داشت، این زنبیلش رو ور می داشت و میرفت کافه های اطراف توی شهر احمدنگر و جاهایی که نزدیک مهرآزاد یا مهرآباد بود میرفت و تو این کافه ها یه چایی سفارش میداد، چایی میخرید و میشست نگاه میکرد تو این کافه ببینه که خب معمولا توی کافه ها یا رستوران های هند که میرید میبینید عکسای مختلف کریشنا، رام، نمیدونم شیوا، بودا، همه عکس‌ها رو زدن و آلوبا میرفت اونجا و آلوبا میپرسید که میدید که اگه عکس مهر بابا نیست میپرسید که صاحب کافه یا رستوران کی هست و صدا میزدن میومد مثلا میگو من کارش دارم. خلاص صاحب رستوران یا کافه میومد و میگفتش که چرا عکس مهر بابا رو نزدی، شما مهر بابا رو نمیشناسی؟ صاحب کافه میگفت نه، حالا شاید میدونست یا میگفت مهر بابا خدای عالم هست، شما چطور مهر بابا رو نمیشناسید؟ باید عکس مهر بابا رو بزنید تو کافتون که هم مردم آشنا بشن، هم رونقی برای کافتون باشه، هم خیلی خیلی خوبه براتون اگه عکس بابا باشه. و صاحب رستوران میگفت باشه من حتما این عکس رو تهیه میکنم، در آینده میزنم. آلوبا میگفت نه من خودم عکسشو دارم. خلاصه این زنبیل رو باز میکرد، همیشه عکسای بابا قاب شده توی زنبیلش بود با چکش و میخ و همه چی. میداد به این صاحب کافه که مثلا عکس بابا رو میخ کنن بزنن توی کافه یا اون رستورانایی که میرفت شرکت میرفت اونجاها. این داستانی بود که آلوبا پیام بابا رو واقعا به همه جا میداد، مخصوصا به ایرانی ها و خیلی واقعا هر ماندلی های بابا هر کدوم یه گلایی بودن که عطرهای خیلی خاصی داشتن و اون جلوه های به نظر من جلوه های بابا بودن هر کدومشون. جای بابا.
جای بابا شاهین جان، خیلی ممنون. فرشید hand is up. جای بابا فرشید جان.
جای بابا براتون بگم یه بار تو مهرآزاد که بودیم الوبا اومد و گفتش که داشتش چیز میکردید مهمونا که میومدن مهمونای بابا الوبا خوش آمد به اینا میگفته و بعد تقریبا منو مأمور کرده بود که ایرانی‌ها رو خوش آمد بگم اینا. بعد گفت علاوه من گفتش که ببین وقتی من بدنم ول میکنم میرم از اینجا تو باید بیای اینجا ایرانی‌ها رو خوش آمد بگی. من گفتم باشه علاوه من بولو سری گرفتم. اون گفت نه حالا باشه فکرش میکنیم ببینیم چی پیش میاد. بعد یه بار دیگه هم تو آمارتیتی با هم بودیم که گفت بریم اینجا موقع نهار بود گفت بریم غذا بخوریم. گفتم باشه علاوه بریم. بعد رفتیم و پول نهار داد و بعد من میخواستم بگیرم گفت نه تو دیگه نگیر بیا اینجا بشین پیش من. رفتم پیشش نشستم اون شروع کرد خوردن یه قاشق هم به من داد گفت حالا تو هم شروع کن با اینجا با من بخور. گفتم باشه علاوه ولی آخه اینطوری که نمیشه. گفت نه نترس اینجا بخور در بهشت هم ما با هم خواهیم خورد همینطوری. اینم یه داستان دیگه از علاوه. یه کتابی علاوه ترجمه کرده و به نام گفتن یک کلمه یعنی چه اگه یادتون باشه. اینو من دیده بودم که گفتن یک کلمه یعنی چه. میخواستم انگلیسیشو به دست بیارم چون میخواستم اینو چون میدونستم علاوه اینو ترجمه کرده. یه بار که هم دادم گفتم علاوه این گفتن یک کلمه یعنی چه رو انگلیسیشو داری؟ گفت آره دارم 10 روپیه. گفتم علاوه پول بخواد 10 روپیه چه من 100 روپیه بدم. خب نه ببین من 10 روپیه میگیرم پولش اولا که میره برای کارهای بابا در ضمن از وقتی تو هم میبری آمریکا اگه کسی خواست یه کپی ازشون میگیری و بهشون میدی ولی مجانی ندی یه پولی ازشون بگیر. گفتم چرا آخر پول لازم ندارم. خب نه ببین وقتی مجانی یه چیزی رو به کسی بدی قدرش نمیدونه میندازه دور. بنابراین مجانی به کسی چیزی نده. گفتم باشه. اینم یه داستان دیگه مختصر و مفید. داستان زیاد دارم با علاوه ولی متاسفانه میگم باید فکر کنم یادم بیاد بنویسم براتون انشالله در آینده این شعر بکنم.
بسیار عالی. ممنون فرشید جان. و من یه خاطره کوچیک دیگه دوست دارم باتون شیر بکنم. اینه که برادر من اردشیر وقتی که کوچیک بودش در حدود 2-3 سال داشت. زمانی بودش که پدر من تازه به بابا ایمان آورده بودن و اینکه تصمیم میگیرن خونه جلسه بگیرن و اردشیر طوری که البته خب من از اردشیر کوچکتر موقع نبودم هنوز. بعد مامانم تعریف میکرد که عکس زرتشت و برادرم برمی داشته و عکس بابا رو زیرش میذاشته و به بابا میگفته بیا عکس زرتشت رو بوس کن و بابا می اومده بوس کنه عکس زرتشت رو میکشیده کنار عکس بابا رو بابا بوس میکرده. خلاصه بعد این داستان مامانم به الوبا میگه و الوبا اینو میره به حضرت مهربابا میگن و حضرت مهربابا اینو که میشنوه خیلی خنده میکنه و یه عکس خودش که به صورت زرتشت لباس پوشیده بودن اونو برمیداره جلوش سجده میکنه میبوسه و اینو میگه که این باید بفرستید برای برادر من که الوبا بعد این عکس رو به دست مامانم میرسونه و برادرم به اون میرسه. برحال مال اون بوده.